We want to see more films with so-called enemies collaborate
Hmm.
with Russians and Ukrainians, with Israeli and Palestinians, with North Koreans and South Koreans, with everywhere. We want to see this collaboration happen because it can only heal us as people.
My name is Leila Hosseini.
Mama.
سلام ماما جون.
I have to make the most important decision of my life today.
دستور اومده از ادامه مسابقات انصراف بدی.
دستور مستقیم از دفتر رهبری.
Guy, we actually spoke before for Skin, I want to say, but I think it was a phoner. So we never actually met in person or seen each other face to face. So but
Nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
likewise, Zara, nice to meet you too. I'm a fan of your acting. I've seen a bunch of your movies, including Shada, which was amazing. Yeah, so let's the most obvious question is, how did this project come together? How did you two come together? Where was like it's such an interesting, you see the word tatami, you assume it's a Japanese movie. So and it's not. So
I speak for a guy because he's tired. During COVID pandemic, he read an article about Said Mulai and
Sagimuki.
Sagimuki. The same situation, the same story. So guy get inspired by this situation that they got into it, and he starts to write. He opened himself to Iranian talents. They wrote this script with Elham Irfani, and then for me, it happened in a very organic way. I got a audition call for this character, and then we met each other. I read the script. I had some propositions. We changed a little bit this character. Then, I do casting too, and Arienne Mandi was already attached, but the rest of the cast, so I worked on it, and everything related to authenticity and stuff, we discussed a lot. And at some point, Guy was so generous to offer me this co-directing collaboration, and I took my time. I took a little bit of time to get really sure about what we're doing artistically and politically. And I mean, as soon as, because I knew Guy from his work, but not personally. And this time that we took to discuss everything, I think it helped me to jump into this collaboration. Yeah.
had you already been shooting when you offered that to you, or was it before you started shooting?
Yeah.
Before.
Okay.
Before.
Okay. I want to go back, Guy, and talk about your co-writer, LM. So when you decide to write about this topic, did you want to get someone who, I'm not sure if I'm not even sure if it's a he or she, LM. I don't know. But your co-writer, did they have any experience in this world of judo, or?
No, none of us.
Oh wow.
None of us had. But I knew that as a Jewish guy, I cannot just write a story about and direct a story about a Persian protagonist. So I opened myself to that, and the collaboration was amazing between Ilham and Zar. And Zar brought a lot of Persian actors, and she also directing them in their own language.
Hmm.
So it really was like, for me, it was the number one thing that was important, that it should be authentic.
Yeah. I mean, it's really believable. I mean, I did not know that they even was Persian judo athletes at all. I mean, I don't I mean, I don't know that world at all. Like
Well,
martial
because in the
arts.
state judo is not really popular like it is in Europe and in the
Hmm.
Middle East.
I see. Okay.
With America, it's more of a wrestling thing.
Right. It's like MMA or
Yeah.
like really different. Yeah, but
Boxing. Yeah.
so what kind of research did you do into that world before you started
Yeah.
writing or directing or shooting?
Big research. Do you want to tell them about the coach?
Uh, Yeah, I personally got in contact with this. I mean, just completely by chance. I met one of these judokas that now he's in refugee team. He
Hmm.
put me in contact with Vahid Sarlak, who is the coach of this refugee team.
Okay.
And Vahid Sarlak is the same person, the same coach. I mean, he was Said Mullay's coach. Said Mulay is the person that guy got inspired by. And at that time, Vahid was his coach. So he knew the whole story. But apart that he had the same story 10 years before, kind of like exactly what happened to Mariam and Leila, you know.
Hmm.
So he really helped me to understand the whole situation. And but also for me was so important how this coach and judoka, how they communicate, what is the respect, honor, and all these terms that we needed really to respect. And then there was Sadaf Khan, who she's a boxer, and she was so involved in writing the script, and she helped Elham to understand how is the situation of female athletes in Iran and what
Hmm.
problem they face every day.
By the way, pardon me, but did you say refugee team? Are they a refugee team? Are they literally they're not excommunicated from Iran completely, or?
Yeah, I think 3 years ago, 4 years ago, you have to, I
Mhm.
mean, Google for this, but not a long time ago. These athletes, these judokas, they got together, and it's not only from Iran, from Iran, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, the different countries, but with the same political situations. They got together and they created this refugee team. If you see all these images from Olympic uh, in Paris this year, there is
Oh, okay.
beautiful boat on the stand with
Yeah.
all these refugee teams, but not only judo. Now they have more for almost every sport. So yeah.
Yeah, forgive me, but I mean the situation in Iran and the Middle East is just so complicated. And I'm not sure as an American, I can understand it whatsoever. It's like it's really kind of because I mean obviously I've seen movies, but you also hear about these great filmmakers who are basically excommunicated. It's just I don't know, it's something that's hard to understand or comprehend as an American. But you're someone who's kind of more international now. I mean, you're making movies that are coming out in other countries and going to festivals. I mean, how's the situation there for you as an actor and filmmaker?
What's the question exactly?
Well, what's the situation for you as an actress and a woman filmmaker? I mean, do you have some of these
No,
same
I think in
problems?
general filmmaking is so hard. This in the industry get horrible more and more. I mean, there are always budget problems, staff problems.
Yeah.
It's not only about I as a exiled filmmaker. I think making movies in this world, this today, it's so hard. You have to be so patient. You have to be so strong. You have to be so clear about your idea, it's not only about politics, it's also your artistic aspect. People are so clever. They come to cinema, they come to watch your movie, not your political statement. So for me, this is a challenge because of these themes, these subject matters, these subjects they matter to me. And it's kind of, I always want to make a very powerful cinematographically movie, but also I want to speak about some special problems, social or political. So it's hard to find this thinny, it's a really thinny border. And this collaboration between co-productions, different cultures, it's all challenging. It's not only being an Iranian or being an Israeli and living in LA, it's just it's so universal cinema. This is my understanding.
Yeah, totally.
But maybe we just see things in a different way because we come from different difficult countries.
Yeah.
Being Middle Eastern is just holy shit.
Well, America's trying to catch up to you guys, apparently.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I mean, guys, you've made a bunch of movies now. I mean, how is this one compared to those as far as making with this collaboration?
I think it's my most complete one. I think it's the one that I look at and I said, yeah, that's my freedom. That's what I wanted. This collaboration made me better. And I think that's the one that I'm most proud of till now.
Nice. Very, very cool. Yeah. I was curious about the black and white thing. I'm sure you're going to get asked about that a lot. I mean, it's a decision when you make a movie in black and white.
Wait, you saw it in black and white?
Yeah. Was that not
shit.
Oh, you're messing with me. But it's a decision because it's like it adds.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
first of all, it's hard to get it played on TV, as I found out. When you want to try to get a black and white movie played on TV, they're like, oh, they get really up in the air. But
Roma succeeded pretty well.
Yeah, Netflix. Well, because Netflix, yeah, they could do whatever they want. Exactly.
As example,
Right?
we have,
Yeah.
Yeah, which one? So what was the decision? Why did you make this decision? And
I think that three things that made it the canvas of black and white is basically when you have it's more abstract. So you don't have specific, you cannot put and say, okay, it's in the 80s, it's 95, it's like 2001. It's like it could be anywhere, anytime, because it's such a abstract canvas. Then also it's something that we're inspired by all those films from the 70s, the paranoia films, the film noir. Look at Alphaville, those French films, and that made a layer of paranoia in a way. And the last one, which is most important, is that these female athletes from Iran, they wake up in the morning and their life is black and white.
Okay.
No, they cannot sing in the streets or wear whatever they want or go to football matches, and for them it's yes or no, black and white. And so that's the world that they live in. So they bring this life into the stadium.
Yeah, I'm wondering more about the collaboration with the two of you, and maybe Zara, you can speak about this because it's your first directorial debut in some ways. What I mean, as far as once you finished shooting and got into the edit, I mean, Zara, are you still very involved with that, working with the editors and all that stuff too?
Yeah. With this amazing editor, I was his assistant on. No, yeah, exactly. And that process of editing, especially this movie for me was kind of so creative. We had lots of challenges, I think, to face and options and and how to make it more intense. It all became part of our movie, the whole thing of editing process. I was totally involved, especially because we have Iranian language. We couldn't. I tried from Paris to work online with our editor at some point. I saw it's not happening in this way, so I took the flight. I went to Tel Aviv, and we worked. Guy was there. We worked really closely on it.
Oh, wow. Did he, yeah, I was curious about that because I speak to a lot of actors who hate seeing themselves on screen. They won't watch their own movies. And when you're editing a movie, you're gonna have to look at yourself a lot.
Yeah, our editor was so panicked. He thought he could. I mean, I arrived and I saw only myself everywhere. I was just shocked why Mariam is everywhere, and he was just like, I don't know. I was afraid. What do you want exactly? I was just no, remove everything, remove that, remove that. No,
No,
it's
no.
good. I mean, that's this is how I learned to do it. I can really take this distance, and it's not anymore myself. It's the character.
Yeah, okay. Now I have to say I'm kind of political, like middle road. I'm very middle road on a bunch of everything. But I do have to ask because this movie premiered at Venice in September 2023, and then a month later the Hamas attack happened. Has it been hard to kind of get out with the movie because it's been 2 years. It's been a year and a half now, but like you're now going back out with a movie, and it's a big deal. That's two filmmakers from Iran and Israel. They make a huge deal about it. It's a big selling point. I mean, have you guys had a lot of questions about that stuff going on back home, or?
Well, listen, this movie is it was intense before October 7th, and it
Mhm.
became more intense after that. We live in a crazy, world. It not only in the Middle East, we see everywhere, it becomes so extreme.
Mhm.
What didn't change is our friendship, and this is something that became more and more tight because we truly believe in collaboration. We truly believe in speaking and not boycotting. We want to see more films with so-called enemies collaborate with Russians and Ukrainians, with Israeli and Palestinians, with North Koreans and South Koreans, with everywhere. We want to see this collaboration happen because it can only heal us as people. It sounds naive, it sounds very beautiful with a lot of flowers and but it's not. It's really what we think that art heals.
Mhm.
And instead of renting online and talking shit online, make art, make movie, make
Mhm.
documentaries. We saw a documentary last year that won
The
best
Oscar.
documentary in the
That's
Oscar
right.
with Israeli and Palestinian. And they got a lot of shit from it, from both places.
Mhm.
But they made history, and that's what we want to make. It's our goal. Does it make sense?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I definitely agree that art heals. I feel like, people from everywhere can go to a concert of a band they like, and they all like the same music. They all like the same art. Zara, do you have a comment on that or any thoughts on that or?
The same, I think, in the same way. Yeah, the situation is hard, but I think this kind of movies, this kind of collaboration can open a new world, a discussion, a friendship, feeling, love more than hate. So
Great.
yeah, we're
Is it,
open to challenges.
Mm. Mm.
yeah. So, sorry, did you mention that you're yeah. Sorry, you mentioned you're based in France now?
Yeah.
Oh, how is France these days? I mean, I've never been there myself, but how is it as far as like the political situation and all that stuff? Do you feel like
As
it's
everywhere else. Yeah, but I don't know how is it
100% for the
exactly
battery.
in US, but I
Hmm.
think people try to keep this vibe of being able to communicate things and to discuss things. And no, it's a hard time, unfortunately. It's hard, not only for this conflict, everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Look how US can change uh, this world in one night, in one day, and we have extremists in France too coming
no.
more and more in power. And no, it's a really challenging time, but I really hope wish peace for this world.
Yeah, me too.
It's a
Listen,
hard
listen. I'm afraid guy left, so I can't say bye to him because I think that's
And I
pretty
hate
much.
it because we are losing our charge. I mean,
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm gonna say bye to you, and I'll tell him to say bye to him too. Thank you so much for the time. I'm sorry to get political. It was kind of hard not to, but I do love the
thanks so much.
movie. I do love the movie, and I hope people go see it. And I'm glad to see you kind of branching out directing too. That's very awesome. So
Thank you.
thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye, bro.
Thank you, Edward.
Oh, see you later, guy. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
I live in a country whose laws do not allow me to compete freely.
میدونی که دیگه هیچ وقت نمیتونیم برگردیم ایران.
I'd rather risk everything
کردن بابا.
and fight for freedom and dignity.